He talks openly of driving President Bush from office and of forcing regime change in the United States. He says he might even spend his whole fortune to make this happen. He has likened himself to the Messiah. His name is George Soros, and he means business. It must have been a surreal moment last year when Soros first unveiled his anti-Bush obsession to the Washington Post. Quote, "America under Bush is a danger to the world," unquote, said the multi-billionaire. Ousting this sitting U.S. president, Soros admitted, quote, "is the central focus of my life, a matter of life and death," unquote. With those words, Soros declared war on George W. Bush, and for Soros, war is total. "I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is," he said. How much money, the Post asked, would Soros spend his whole fortune to oust Bush? If someone guaranteed it, he replied, he would spend everything if someone could guarantee that Bush would be gone. Soros's words should not be taken lightly. Already the 73-year-old speculator in global currency has gone belly to belly against some of the world's mightiest nations, risking billions in daredevil do-or-die contest of financial power. He has won such battles before. He stands a good chance of winning this one. This one may refer to his quest to get rid of the conservatives, not just Bush. It may refer to his huge short position in the U.S. dollar. He has reportedly pumped at least $35 million into the Democrats' campaign and vows to raise a total of $95 million through a network of Section 527 front groups. That refers to an IRS designation for nonprofit organizations, Section 527. These are groups designed to circumvent the McCain-Feingold ban on soft money. The Federal Election Commission places no limits on donations to the shadowy 527s and requires no disclosure of the donors and the amounts they have given. Consequently, no one really knows how much money Soros has lavished or will on the Democrats this year, and of course he's speaking of the year 2004. What is clear is that the Democrats and their 527s have already begun waging a major media campaign against Bush. The Center for Responsive Politics estimates the pro-John Kerry 527s have already raised $287 million. Meanwhile, Soros's private philanthropy, totaling nearly $5 billion, continues undermining America's traditional Western values. His giving has provided funding of abortion rights, atheism, drug legalization, sex education, euthanasia, feminism, gun control, globalization, mass immigration, gay marriage, and other radical experiments in social engineering. What drives George Soros? What about George W. Bush offends him so deeply that he would empty his multi-million-dollar piggy bank to topple the president? And what about our country offends Soros so deeply that he would tell a British newspaper during a time of war that he wants to, quote, puncture the bubble of American supremacy? Soros's public pronouncements offer scant clues to his motivation. Quote, the government of the most powerful country on earth has fallen into the hands of extremists. In condemning Bush's war on terrorism, Soros parrots familiar talking points. Quote, we find ourselves in a quagmire in Iraq that is in some ways reminiscent of Vietnam. The reckless pursuit of American supremacy has put us and the rest of the world in danger. Well, that's pretty vague. Like, how so, Mr. Soros? Or do you have something else in mind? Or are these simply talking points Is this part of a smear campaign so that you can carry out some other agenda? Soros has reportedly donated $2.5 million to the Democrat activist group MoveOn.org. The group aroused controversy in December by displaying on its website streaming video of 2 TV ads likening President Bush to Adolf Hitler. A Jewish survivor of Nazi-occupied Hungary, Soros told the Washington Post in November, "When I hear Bush say, 'You're either with us or against us,' it reminds me of the Germans. My experiences under Nazi and Soviet rule have sensitized me." Sensitized him, perhaps. Experienced Soros watchers, however, do not count sensitivity among his noteworthy traits. Ruthlessness, yes. Greed, yes. Machiavellian cunning, certainly. Megalomania, without a doubt. But sensitivity? Those who know and study Soros are inclined to seek more cynical explanations for his vendetta. It's not life or death for Soros, it's the money, and the consequent power, which brings him more money, journalist Anne Williamson told NewsMax. He has much less traction with the Bush administration than he did with the Clintons. In fact, Soros reached the apogee of his power, fame, and influence during the Clinton years. With the Clinton administration, Soros, a newly turned Democrat, has made the kind of inroads that he was unable to make before, noted Connie Bruck in a January 23, 1995 profile of Soros for The New Yorker. He has cultivated excellent relationships with high-ranking officials in the State Department and at Treasury. What exactly Soros gained from his association with the Clintons and what he gave in return remains murky, but some things are clear. When the Clintons took office, they inherited the awesome and historic task of rebuilding and redefining America's relationship with the fallen Soviet Empire. Whether through sloth, incompetence, or lack of vision, the Clintons did not rise to the challenge. Instead, they delegated the task to others. According to a September 2000 report of the House Speaker's Advisory Group on Russia, headed by Representative Christopher Cox, Republican, California, the Clintons turned over Russia policy to a troika of underlings, which included Vice President Al Gore, Straub Talbot at the State Department, and Larry Summers at Treasury. This troika, in turn, relied heavily on the help and guidance of George Soros.